Welcome to the Caddo Convos, the podcast that explores the vibrant community of businesses thriving in Caddo Office Reimagined. We're here to shine a light on the incredible entrepreneurs and professionals who make the most of our private offices, co-working spaces, and day office rentals in the Dallas-Fort Worth suburbs. Join us as we share their stories, celebrate their successes, and dive into the benefits of working in a space that's close to home but offers so much more than working from home. Let's get started with today's conversation. Joining me today on the Caddo Convos is my friend Dr. Jared Wilson of Core Strength Wellness Center. How are you?
Doing good, buddy. How you doing?
Great. Glad to have you here. First, I want to know, what is Core Strength Wellness Center? What do you do and what sets you apart?
You bet. So the thing that I like to focus on is overall health and wellness, right? Work from the body on the inside out, as well as all the structural stuff. If you want to get adjusted, you can pretty much go anywhere for that, right? I want to get my back adjusted. I want to get my neck adjusted. We're everywhere, okay? So really what sets us apart is you're going to get a lot more than that. We're going to dive into why do I have X, Y, or Z going on? And then that way we actually get to the source of the problem, treat it, and then we send you on your way, kind of a deal. And then hopefully it's just maintenance after that. But, really is just like, I like to deal with complex problems. The stuff that's like, I've seen this guy, I saw that gal, I saw this person over here, and all I'm getting is a runaround. All I'm getting is more drugs. All I'm getting is more shots. And I don't like that stuff. I'll be honest. I don't like it. I don't think it does a great job of fixing anything. Usually just winds up masking symptoms. And it's not just about pain. Pain can present in a manner of ways. But so many people are like, I have this chronic condition and I'm on this laundry list of drugs or whatever. And you just sit there and think, okay, well, you don't have an excess or a deficiency in these drugs. You have a deficiency in something else. Let's go find it.
Yeah, that's great. So you really like a complex, obviously you treat each person where their needs are.
Everybody's individual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a complicated problem. So if you're out there and listening, you're like, and everyone who has been treated regularly, let's say I'm 53,
right.
So I've been through a lot of different ringers, if you will, and,
sure.
and had all these different things cracked.
Yeah, same.
But as I get older, there are complicated problems arise. So tell me about some complicated problems that you can help fix. So if I'm trying to identify myself as like, am I, is he up for what I've got going on?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So, I've treated a lot of internal medicine stuff. One of the things that I've treated a lot of are gallbladder problems, liver problems. Most of the time the answer is like, well, your gallbladder is a problem. Let's take it out. Guys, it's there for a reason. Stop just taking things out. It can be treated. Gallstones, gallbladder problems. These are difficulties. Most often, these are people who present like, "Oh, my stomach's upset. I'm having a hard time every time I eat. I'm bloated, and I just feel horrible." So what do? Oh, come to find out, there's a gallbladder problem. Well, let's just take it out. And it's like, no. There's other things that you can do for that, so that you continue to keep your organs, that they work the way that they're supposed to, and you actually get better. I also treat neuropathy.
Tell me, what is that?
So neuropathy is when the peripheral nerves, so like most commonly in the feet, start to die, whether that's from chronic inflammation. Most commonly, we see it associated with type 2 diabetes. We do see it with degeneration of the spine, where the vertebrae actually collapse over time and they crush the nerve roots. And so your feet are going numb and what have you. And so, most of the time, if you're going to go to your neurologist for this, it's like, oh, well, these can't be fixed. Here, take some gabapentin, right, for the pain. And well, it's really a matter of blood flow. You get the blood flowing back into the feet, you're going to heal. The body's designed to do that. And so that's really what we're focusing on is like, let's find these things. Let's deal with these things because, I've had family members die as a result of peripheral neuropathy. And it's like, first it's like, all right, let's take a toe and then a foot and then your lower leg, and next thing you know, you don't have anything from below the knees, and then it's like, all right, well, we wish you the best of luck. We did the best that we could. And again, not to knock anybody that's treating this, but there are other options out there. And, that's what I'm trying to promote to so many people out there. It's like, you have options. Look them up. Find somebody that's actually treating these things at the root cause. And that's what core strength wellness is all about. Let's find the root cause and treat it.
Dr. Jared, when you started out, I guess any of us, when we start out our lives, was there something that inspired you to treat and help people? I mean, how did you get down this path to where you are now?
That's a great question. It's I tell people, they're like, when did you know you wanted to be a chiropractor? I was like, I was 14.
Oh, really?
And they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, I was 14 years old when I knew that this is what I wanted to do.
What was the trigger?
Well, I've always liked working with people.
Okay.
I've always liked to help people, but I knew I didn't want to be a surgeon because I was like, I got a problem with other people's blood. I mean, I do. I could be gushing. I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, my blood's one thing, your blood, not so much.
I mean, like, because I've had kids that have had, pretty invasive surgeries. And I'm like, I can't look at this. I can't look at that open wound. It's disgusting. And so I was like, I knew I didn't want to do that because just, subconsciously my brain was like, nah, that ain't for us. And so a very dear friend of mine when I was a kid I should say more of my parents because he's, older than me, significantly older than me. But he was a chiropractor. And I remember talking to him when I was a kid. And so I was like, I want to learn more about this. And so I made friends with chiropractors in my community. And I started learning about what it is that they were doing. And I was like, this is awesome. This is awesome what these guys are helping people with. And that's just the route I wanted. So that's the route I chose. And it was kind of a winding, rough road at times, but that's where I got. And it's where we are today. So where you are now, we're in the Caddo office, Reimagine and Prosper. Yeah. Tell me about why you chose this location for your practice. So I chose this location, I'll be honest, mostly on the fact that it's month to month. Yes. I do actually have a location that we are building. It's just north of us here up in Salina. And that's going to be my permanent home. I hope, fingers crossed that everything goes well and, there's no difficulties with the build. But
yeah, we don't have any crystal balls in front of us.
Yeah, I mean, there's no guarantees there. But, the nice thing here is it was one of those, the pricing was reasonable for the space that I was needing. And it really was just like, hey, I can go just month to month. If I need more time, I get it. If I'm done early, great. Here's my 30 days and I'm out, and it's been great. All my patients are like, wow, it's a little tight, a little tighter than we're used to. I'm like, yeah, but it's temporary and we're making it work.
Yeah, that's terrific. Tell me about the best way to reach you. How do you like to be contacted?
Best way to reach me is phone.
Okay.
Phone and email are the best.
Okay.
Our phone number is, it's easy to find. It's on our website. It's on Google, but it's 972-292-9863. Or you can reach me at drjaredwilson@yahoo.com.
Okay.
Those are the best ways to reach me.
And as that updates or changes, just if you're listening, just go to the show notes. So Dr. Jared will reach out to me, and we can always change that and keep that updated for
Absolutely.
you, especially location information as that changes. What do you enjoy most? As in, what gets you out of bed every day? Like, oh man, I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, it's my kids. I'm not gonna lie. I got 4 boys.
Oh boy, what ages?
So my oldest is 19. And then I have a 17, 14, and 11-year-old.
That's a lot.
And, today was first day of school.
Oh, yeah.
And so, they're quote unquote excited to be back at school, but kind of not really. Oldest he's graduated and moving on to other things. And, they're the reason.
Yeah.
They're the reason I get up every day because I look forward to helping people every day.
Yeah.
I do. And, I've been doing this for the better part of 20 years now. And, it's great, just to see people, see their lives change, whether it's chronic pain, whether it's chronic sickness, because one of the big things that I try to do also is I try to prevent knee surgeries. I try to prevent knee replacements. I try to, I work with degenerative arthritis in knees. And so we have just had tremendous success. And the reality is I'm one of them. I have degenerative arthritis in one of my knees. I blew it out when I was in my 20s, got surgery, and nobody told you, hey, after your physical therapy, enjoy the arthritis that shows up later. Nobody tells you that. And so, The last thing I want is to get my knees replaced. I've seen and I've heard the horror stories of people who've had it done. And they're like, look, I spent all this time, I spent all this money, and I didn't get any better. And I know people who have. I know people who've gotten better. But the people who haven't, man, it's terrifying to watch them just decline over time. And so I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going to pass on that one. And so just seeing the success we have in getting people healthy again is the reward. I mean, like that's the best part of my job is seeing people's lives just change. I had a gal, this was years ago. This is when I first opened a practice, and I probably in walked one of the grumpiest people I have ever met. I am not kidding. And I was like, wow, this lady is going to be fun. And, we started working, and probably after about 2 visits, she walks in the door with the biggest smile on her face. I'm like, who is this person? This is not the lady I saw that first day. And she was like, so my husband has already told me that I can see you whenever I want. Wow. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, yeah. She's like, my pain is gone. And so I was like, all right, that's awesome. So, that's what I love. That's the thing I take home.
Well, I think that saying and live to correct it is like you can have problems, but if you have health problems, yes, you have one problem.
Yes.
Is get out from underneath that problem.
Correct. Yeah. Because you're either going to be miserable or it's going to kill you.
Yeah.
It's one of those 2 problems right there. And, but the thing that the biggest struggle that I see is, when people start talking about their finances. And I'm like, look, what's your life worth? Really, what's it worth? We do take some insurance, but in some cases, insurance, there's things that we do that insurance will not pay for. That's not on me. That's on the insurance. The insurance is going to pay for this. And so, but I sit there and I'm like, what is your quality of life worth? I mean, are you really going to sit there and say, I'm going to be miserable for the next 30 years?
And it's not just you that's miserable. I mean, it ripples out to everybody you know. Like
absolutely.
You mentioned that poor young lady.
Yeah. No, really. I mean, it really just ripples out. It's a ripple effect. It affects your kids, spouse, friends, and all that stuff. I mean, pain is a horrible thing to live with, especially on a chronic level. And, I've seen it take the life right out of people.
Yeah. Well, for people who are on the fence, even with pain, what would you tell them to come see you?
So I would tell people, it's like, hey, look, I'm thinking about this, right? Give me a shot. Give me 1 visit. If I can't help you feel better after 1 visit, okay, I gave it my best shot, But the reality is anybody I've accepted under my care has never not gotten better. I mean, that's the reality. And I'm also honest with people. If I'm like, look, I can't help you. I can't fix this. That's really rare. That's really rare, but it has happened. And so it's like, look, let's look at other options for you. This isn't going to work. So let's look at these other things. Most of the time I'll be honest, most of the time it's diet and exercise. It is. You got to make sure you're eating right. You're getting plenty of sunshine. You're drinking enough water every day. Stop drinking soda. Limit your coffee intake. Watch your caffeine intake. It's amazing what just altering those few things does for your overall health. It really is incredible.
Well, I thank you for being on the show today and just sharing how much you enjoy, clearly what you do,
Thanks.
And being a dad,
yeah.
As soon as you talked about your boys, I saw that gleam.
Oh man, being a dad is the best thing ever, man. If I could just stay home and be a dad, shoot, man, that's amazing. But that's not how the world works.
And there are people out there that need healing.
They are, yes.
As long as there you are. And I see you're wearing a superhero shirt, which is pretty cool.
Big Batman fan, yes, sir.
So that's great. So keep doing what you're doing, and we enjoy having you as part of the Caddo community as long as you're here.
Perfect. Thanks. It's been awesome.
All right. Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you for joining us today on the Caddo Convos podcast. A huge shout out to our incredible network of members for making our community vibrant and supportive. If you're looking to boost your productivity and reduce the isolation of working from home, consider joining us at Caddo Office Reimagine. Our spaces are designed to meet your evolving needs, support remote work, and foster a sense of community that's hard to find at home. Whether you're a startup aiming for growth, a freelancer seeking a professional setting, or a company looking to optimize resources, Caddo offers a perfect blend of flexibility and innovation. By joining us, you'll be a part of a dynamic business ecosystem that helps you thrive. For more information, visit caddooffices.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Caddo Convos.